Alright, so I'm Hayden Roth, and this will be part 3 of my culminating unit, and I'm going to be showing you just kind of how to work with the video effects and text, mainly what After Effects is used for and what you'll probably be looking at using this for. Anyways, so we have our clip, our composition's been created, and we've added our footage and just kind of talked about the viewing modes and a little about the clip and altering the composition settings to fit your footage. So now what you're going to want to be doing is right along the right side, you notice you have your effects and presets. If this is not appearing for you, you're just going to go up into Window, and then you're going to see it here, and you're going to go click Effects and Presets, and it should just appear there for you. Now, depending on the version of After Effects that you're using, or you might be looking and seeing that I have a lot of effects that you don't, such as Twitch. This was a plugin and a different kind of preset that I installed myself. So we're going to be working with something that I know you will have, and the kind of thing that this is used for is color correcting, and you can do a lot with it. It's really up to you. Stuff like blur and sharpen can be used to really make your footage look a lot nicer, and there's different types of plugins and presets you can download separately that will kind of help it and make it a little more unique. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be adding text, and I'm going to talk a little about these tools here. So you have your shape tool here, and what you might want to do whenever kind of doing it, whenever you're using any of these tools for text, it's always going to make you create an automatic new layer. If it doesn't, you can just go like this, new, and you can add in any of these here, like a shape layer such as that, or light, camera, really all of that. It's a little more advanced, and you probably don't have to worry about it as much for now. But for the time being, we're just going to go right to the text tool, and we're going to type something in. We're just going to type tutorial. You'll notice that my font I'm using is BBOS. That's a different type of font that I added separately. But we're just going to use an Arial font, just a font that everyone I know will have. So you have it here, and alongside you can have a whole bunch of different effects you can do. You can change the color to it. You can go down into effects and presets. You can use glows. Uh, there's just endless amount to add the effect. You just drag it on. You can drag it on there, or you can just drag it onto the layer here. When you do, it'll automatically open up an effect control where your project is. If you want to get back to your project, add more footage or whatever, that'll all be in here. Your effect control panel is right here. You can drag this out if you want, make it go here. Obviously where the purple box kind of is, that's showing where it will land, but I find it most convenient just to stay here. So you'll notice that right now it just already kind of has a red glow around it. We're going to go into full and render that, and you can kind of see it there. If you really want, you can like extremely dramatize it, change the color phase where it goes from. So obviously 0 to 35 degrees, so it'll kind of be going on a 35-degree angle from where it is. The different colors you can add, the glow threshold, the radius, you can make it really, really, really obvious here. Your glow intensity, again, it's all stuff you can change. And you can just really you just fiddle around with this until you get the type of thing you want. I recommend if you don't know all the effects, you can just slowly go down and look through them all. I highly recommend Googling different things like keys. So what this will do is, if that's for green screen stuff, chroma keying, what I can do is I can gray out my friend's gray shirt here, and it would just be a black box or a different layer behind it. Again, rather advanced, but it's just an idea of the type of effects that can be used in Adobe After Effects. So we have our text here. If you'd like, you can obviously make a shape there. And this is a mask. It'll be selected now. But we're, again, not really going to worry about that all too much. Now, it kind of already did me that for me before I got a chance to talk about it, but you'll be able to see when you click on the drop down here, it'll have all the different options that you can have. So you have your path options. What this can be used for is to make your text move around on the screen. But for, again, the time being, we're just going to kind of let that go. And you can change a stroke and just kind of, again, mess around with the text and make it the kind of thing you're looking for. So other than that, I think that's about all for the effects and presets that we're going to worry about. If you want here, you have your pen tool. What this can be done to do is you can create vector masks with it, and what this will do is when you mask out areas, you could have just this selection gone, or you could have this whole selection moving, or there's even ways to mess around with the keying and chroma keying, so that when an object passes behind my friend, it literally appears behind him, even though this is all a flat one layer of footage. But we're just going to get rid of that there just by holding Command Z. You have your text tool, your brush tool, uh, oops, your brush tool. What am I doing here? For this, you can uh, just kind of mess around with it. You have all your different settings here that will appear when you click it. You have your clone stamp. That'll just be almost like a like just you can have just a set like brush or a different kind of effect with that. And otherwise than that, you can have your you can have your um, the rotating tool. What you do with this is you can kind of change how your text is. If you are in a perspective 3D mode, you can even change the Z-axis so you can bring it closer, move it back, tilt it like on a third dimension sort of axis, but we are in a 2 dimension right now, and we're just going to leave it at that for the time being. You have your camera and your pan. All that really does is just kind of, you can move it around and it'll move behind an anchor. So other than that, I think that pretty much covers the main tools that you need here. To zoom in, you can use this, but I recommend just using the scroll. Uh, if you do need to zoom in on a specific part, you may need to use this tool for that sake. Otherwise, you have this, which will move around your project. You can move it if you're more trying to just focus on one side of the project. And that is to return back to your just normal your selection tool. Just that arrow right there. So I'm pretty sure that covers about all you need to know about the tools kind of along the top here, and the different type of effects that you can use when you're looking at this. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and again, I'll be back with part 4.